My parents banned me from my sister's wedding and said, only family is allowed. 3 days later, they begged me to save them from the bill. I'm 33, and in my family, being responsible always meant paying for problems I didn't create. When Dad's cabinet shop missed payroll, I covered it. When my younger sister, Sophie, quit college, I paid her rent. Mom thanked me privately, then told relatives my parents had handled everything. Sophie was the daughter they celebrated. I was the daughter they called when something broke. When she got engaged to Daniel, my parents promised to pay for the wedding. 2 months later, Mom called crying. Dad's shop was struggling. The venue needed a $4,000 deposit, plus final approval for another $24,000 after the reception. Mom asked me to be the temporary payer. She promised Dad would repay me after selling his fishing boat. I requested the contracts first. My parents, Sophie and Daniel, were listed as the hosts. My form authorized the deposit, but the final balance required separate approval. If I declined, the hosts remained responsible. I highlighted that paragraph. Mom barely looked at it. You've never left us stranded, she said. I paid the deposit. After that, Sophie sent pictures of dresses and flowers, but no invitation. Whenever I asked, she said immediate family didn't need one. She told me to wear navy and arrive shortly before 2. I believed her. I flew from Chicago to North Carolina carrying a silver frame and a handwritten toast. Sophie used to stage weddings in our backyard. I had always played the person walking her down the aisle. The next afternoon, I arrived at the Glass Conservatory 20 minutes before the ceremony. The attendant checked the guest list twice. My name wasn't there. She called my parents. Mom came outside first. Dad followed, staring at the ground. Mom blocked the door. You need to leave. I thought she was panicking over a mistake. Then she said, only family is allowed inside. I looked at Dad. He told me not to embarrass Sophie. Was I family when you needed the deposit? Mom glanced toward a woman near the entrance. I recognized Daniel's mother, Carol. Carol approached and asked if everything was all right. Mom smiled too quickly. This is our former billing coordinator. She arrived at the wrong time. Carol looked confused. I thought your older daughter was estranged. Everything suddenly made sense. My parents had told Daniel's family they were paying for the wedding. They had also said I had cut them off because I resented Sophie. My presence threatened both lies. Through the glass, I saw Sophie in her wedding dress. Our eyes met. She didn't look surprised. She turned away. I could have exposed them in front of everyone. Instead, I told Carol my name, wished her family a peaceful afternoon, and walked away. The folded toast was still inside my purse. At the hotel, an email from the venue appeared. Final balance, $24,000. Approval required by Monday. Declining would not cancel any services. It would transfer the balance to the 4 adults who had signed as hosts. I clicked decline. 3 days later, Mom called. She asked whether I had calmed down. Then she mentioned the invoice. The vendors had contacted my parents. Daniel now knew they never had the money. Carol had also asked why their estranged daughter paid the deposit. Mom's voice started shaking. Please approve it. Your father could lose everything. I asked what she meant. She admitted Dad hoped Daniel's parents would hire his shop to renovate their lodges. My parents wanted to look financially successful and perfectly united until the contract was offered. So you erased me. We were protecting your sister's future. No, you were protecting a lie. Mom begged again. She promised I could attend a family dinner after the honeymoon and everyone would move forward. I looked at the navy dress hanging beside the window. Then I repeated her rule. Only family was allowed inside. The family inside can pay for it. Sophie called next. She apologized for the canceled honeymoon, then asked if I could pay half. I asked whether she knew about the guest list. After a long silence, she admitted she knew Mom had called me estranged. She stayed quiet because Daniel's parents admired close families. You saw me outside. I didn't know what to do. You made a choice. I told her I would speak to her when she could apologize without attaching a dollar amount. Sophie and Daniel used their wedding gifts toward the bill. My parents sold the boat and arranged payments for the rest. Nobody lost a house or went to jail. They simply paid for the celebration they claimed to have funded. Carol never offered Dad the lodge contract. She said financial trouble was understandable. Dishonesty was not. A month later, Dad began repaying my deposit. His first note said, I let your money count while pretending you didn't. Sophie took longer. 6 months later, she admitted she wanted my help more than my presence. There was no request at the end of her message. I haven't forgiven her yet, but I kept the navy dress. Last month, I wore it to a friend's small lakeside wedding. When I arrived, she came outside herself and hugged me. Come on, she said. I saved you a seat. For once, nobody asked what I had paid. They were simply happy I came.